Hi, and welcome to the Wake.Show. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're doing all right. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Chris. Hi, and welcome to the Wake.Show, everybody. I hope you're doing all right. Happy Monday, and thank you so much for being part of the Wake.Show today. We'll get to stuff you should know. I don't have any guests scheduled today, and I am joined by my sidekick. There's the backside of him. There he is. Little Joey. How you doing today, Joey? I'm doing just fine. I'm looking forward to a great Monday. What? All right, we get to stuff you should know. Let me go ahead and pull that up here, and we'll get right to it. It's Monday. Oh, I know the first thing we want to start off with today. Let's do this first. Stretch this back out so I can see everything I need to see without turning everything off. And there we go. All right. We'll get to stuff you see. What's up there for stuff you should know. Before we do that, though, I do have to share this. So, hello and welcome, whoever's watching. Oh, that's me that's watching. All right. We got to figure out something here because, I can't do this at the beginning of every show. One day I will have interns in here and make sure that once we go live, they do all the sharing. But as it stands right now, what's up, buddy? Got my little write a post and share it. The show is on. I guess we'll do it on my personal page. The show is on. Boom. At the Wake. See, they've got to do something bad. This is ridiculous. The Wake.Show. And it's not even showing up. All right, good. All right, we'll do that. So that's my time. We got our second person. You tune in. You see me staring down on the show today. We'll get to that goal save of the year, which is absolutely amazing. And also a Poo Watch enters day number 24. Poo Watch? What are you talking about? It's a criminal, and they're waiting for some evidence. And he will not produce the evidence. So Poo Watch has gone into day 24. Should we privatize the International Space Station? Should we turn that over to the likes of your Elon Musks? Elon Musks of the world and people like that, and privatize that. Sex slave, again, this is another criminal, wins a lawsuit against the person that runs the jail, I think it was. We'll come back to that story. The first millennial champion, which is really cool in the Olympics, the first person born in the 2000s has won their first gold medal. We'll get to that story. Flu season worsens. How to spot a gay. Now, I realize if you are just tuning in and you're looking up and down this thing, you're like, what? Notice that it is in quotes, okay? We're going to a ridiculous story out of Malaysia for that one. And then tipping for takeout, we will come back to as well. And this is stemming from a woman who, out of Palm Beach Gardens, she had somebody order a $735 takeout order and left $0 as a tip. Should that group of people be euthanized? Or maybe we just talk about what you should tip if you're... That's not a takeout order. A takeout order at most is $73, not $735. A $735 order is not a takeout order. That's a different category. What category is that? Catering. That's in the catering category. So, I don't know. All right, we'll come back to that story here in just a little bit as well. But first, hey, how's it going? I hope that your weekend was awesome. Now I'm sharing to Fisher the Man. Sorry, this is something I have to do here in the beginning, and otherwise I don't know. We just need it. To happen. All right. Other than that, let's see. Joey and Roxy are in here today. Can we spot Roxy? Where is she hiding? Oh, Oh, right in the middle of the room. Right in the, honey, there's a, she is just not comfortable. My little anxious girl. Joey, however, Joey's doing all right. How you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, Dad, you know me, just chilling. Why do I want to come over on your lap? Now they're talking like that.
Because I know when you're talking like that means it's playtime. Oh, sorry you had to witness that. I'm sure it's a little on the unnerving side. All right, let's get to stuff you should know today, and your comments along the way as well. I want to start off with that goal this past weekend, and here we go. Here's a version of it there. I pulled this from Jonny Torres' page over the weekend. He had posted this from CBS Sports. Look at that shot. Look at that. Watch it over and over and over again. And we will. No, don't you. I don't care about the next video. You and your stupid videos. Sorry. It's almost time for me to put Rant Baby back on. I just want to see the video again. There we go. Just keep showing it to me over and over and over again. Wow, that's just amazing. You know, you can say it's luck. There is a probability in everything. But he knew where that puck was coming from. That's why that leg goes back there. He knows that the puck is coming back there some way. He slings that hand around. And you also see his eye is still on the puck. And that is, you can say everything has probability, has a certain degree of luck that goes along with it. But that was not luck. Lightning goalie Andrei Vilosevsky made easily one of the most impressive saves of this NHL season in Saturday's win over the Kings, with Tampa Bay down a man in the first period. He was screened by Dustin Brown, and Anze Kopitar skated towards the net. The goalie crouched to peer through the Browns' legs, at which point he noticed Kopitar. Is it Kopitar? He noticed Kopitar in prime scoring position and desperately threw his glove hand behind his back. What do you mean desperately? That was all right. Is that the equivalent of like a Hail Mary? Maybe. Look at that. Start off with something positive on this Monday morning. How's everybody's weekend? Everybody have a positive weekend? How you doing, cousin? A cup of tar. All right, thank you. Unless you're effing with me, Elliot. How you doing, cousin Ed? I got friends and family watching this morning. At least I got that support. Friends and family. Next up, how's the weather there in Jamestown, Ed? It is 80 degrees today, and we've already broken some temperatures I saw over the past couple of days. We have broken some records already for heat. Not overall heat, just for, on this day heat here in the state of Florida. All right, let's get back to some of the news of the day, the stuff you should know from today. Next up is a question. Do we privatize the international... wait. You're right. I got poo for... Wait, whoa. Don't you dare. Don't you disappear on... You're not disappearing on me. All right, so the story, where'd you go? I know you're around somewhere. I didn't click on. All right, well, I'll have to come back to it. All right, so this is what I'm talking about is Poo Watch enters day 24. So I'm going to find that. The convicted killer, William, that's the sex slave. Well, there it is. Poo Watch. Poo Watch enters 24th day. How do you like that graphic? How do you like that visual there? It's been 24 days since Lamar Chambers was arrested by Essex police for being a suspected drug dealer. And during those 24 days, he's not been to the toilet once. Why, you ask? Well, it's thought he allegedly concealed drugs on himself before his arrest as part of an operation targeting street crime. So now officers are waiting with bated breath for him to go. And they've been updating the hashtag Poo Watch, as it is now known, about any sudden movements. But they've had enough. Day one. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And speaking to the metro.co.uk today, a spokesperson for the force said they will no longer be issuing updates after day 24. Instead, they will make one final announcement when he does what he needs to. The longest an inmate has gone without using the toilet, it's not an official record, I guess, but the unofficial record is, according to British records, 23 days. So an inmate has gone 23 days before without allowing any evidence to pass. How? I don't want to know how. No. See, lots of times when it comes down to stuff like this, I want to start figuring out, what's going on and imagining how we got here and how this kind of stuff could be avoided. So start going over the possible ways that you could go, and I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to imagine that because I think like after day 2 or 3, I'm ready to die. Also, by the way, that's one of the things they are waiting for, too, is they don't think this is going to be very healthy for him. And if not careful, they're not sure if he's just going to bust. And then all of a sudden, all of that waste it becomes your innards. And bad things, I guess, can happen when there's poo swirling through your system. All right, great way to kick off a Monday there, fish. We go from that to a poo watch. How about something just a little bit more down to earth? Damn it. No, it's not. Maddie, I'm only listening to see if we get to hear Head Injury Harry. Well, Maddie, anytime you ask for Head Injury Harry, you get Head Injury Harry. The only thing is that I think it's probably only appropriate. No, I can't. Well, it's out of context now. Now people are thinking I'm just making fun of handicapped people, and we live in a different day and time. So I don't know if Head Injury Harry can make an appearance without some kind of context. Oh, look at that. Well, I've got some chest hair showing today. Maybe that testosterone's already working. My T levels must be on the rise. I'm David Hasselhoffing this morning. Let me button this bad boy up. Speaking of David Hasselhoff, finally saw yesterday my wife had a, what do they call those things? Bridal shower? Not for her. But for her best friend, she's going to be in a wedding here next month. And so they had the bridal shower. And so I was free all day yesterday. And coming off of a gig the night before, which I didn't get home till 3 o'clock, didn't get to bed till 4:30. Then I'm like, I'm just lounging around. And what did I come across on Netflix but Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Yes, perfect. That's what I needed. Oh, matter of fact, let me see if it's updated over here. I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you something this morning. That is, if it's updated. I don't know how this stuff is working now. I just hooked up my photo stream, and I think that I've got it figured out. But I'm not 100% sure. All right, so do I just go to the bottom? And that should be the new ones. Yes, it is working. So let's go with this one right here. This is my Sunday afternoon. I want to see if you can pick out everything here. My Sunday afternoon. As you can see, there is Guardians of the Galaxy in the background, Chris Pratt. As you can see, there's Tostitos and Diet Coca-Cola and a bottle of wine and a glass of wine and a remote control as well. I'm blaming this moment on the NFL. I'm blaming this moment. This is what happens. The week after the Super Bowl, you don't know what to do. Next thing you know, you've got alcohol in front of you. You've got the big screen television on. It all seems to be going together. There's Tostitos there, but it's just weird. And it's just not the same, but it did help. It did help me get through a couple of hours there. Let's see what else. I want to see what else that I popped up for you guys. Anything good? I mean, I didn't do this for you. I just take pictures of stuff, and then let's see if there's anything worth showing. No. Oh, okay. There's that. That's my project when I get home today. That's actually been my project for quite some time, and it's getting to the point where it's really, really annoying my wife, really bothering Lauren. Wouldn't you say, Joey, that mommy's annoyed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You need to get that thing fixed as quick as possible.
So I need to get that thing fixed as quick as possible. Well, but here's the thing. So I get a new grill, right? Or did we get a grill or did I get a grill? I guess we got a grill. But, and it's a Charbroil brand. We got it on a Black Friday. It was a great deal, like $89 or something like that. I think it's normally $159 or something. And, but But so I put the whole thing together, and it's missing a wire. And it's missing this that's the starter wire, the little tick, click, whatever they call that, the clicker, the little starter thing. And so the negative, the ground wire is there, just not the positive. So I call, and they're like, oh, it's going to be like 8 weeks. I'm like, really? 8 effing weeks? And then it dawns on me that I can, I can still use the grill without the starter. You just, you lie to yourself. So it wasn't that annoying. It comes in a couple weeks, and it looks like this. And I'm like, that's not what it looked like in the paper. I don't even know what this is. That wire's attached to something there, as you can see, right? That wire's attached to this thing. What the hell is that thing? So she's been on me to get it done. And I'm looking at all the instructions. I can't figure it out. And so that means I got to make some phone calls, and this is just, this is on my, we all have attributes, positive and negative. And one of the negatives that you guys know is coming, I don't know, this category, I don't know what it is. Emails, phone calls, going to the mailbox, balancing checkbooks, depositing money, anything that's like, I don't know what it is. It just, it is almost insurmountable for me. So I finally, she's been on me and on me and on me and on me. And so I finally text her brother yesterday, my brother-in-law, because he got one of these girls. I'm like, I'll start with him. Maybe. So I go, hey, man, can you send me a picture of this and where it is on your grill? And he sends me a text back and goes, hold on, I got a scam likely. A scam likely coming out of Land O'Lakes. So he texts me he texts me back and says, oh yeah, ours didn't have one either. So so theirs is broken too, and they are manually, starting it when they're using their grill there. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So now I have to track down Char Grill, or Charbroil, whatever the hell it is, Charbroil Grills or Char Grill Broils, and figure out where that goes. Because I'm sure that it's not that difficult. I have a feeling that I apply it to like, I don't know. I just feel like if I mess it up and put it in the wrong place, then everything can go kaboom. So I don't want to obviously mess it up. And eventually I'll just have to make that phone call, sit in hold for 12 hours, while I listen to somebody who's going to be right with you, and then get somebody on the phone that doesn't know what they're talking about and start all over again. Sorry. There's that. Next. Wait, hold on. Any more pictures I want to show you? See, I don't need to show you any. Oh, okay. All right. I'm proud of myself. There is one I want to show you. And thank you very much, Maddie. I appreciate it. There is another one that I want to show you. And it's a little disgusting. I'm going to show you the inside of my trash can. Today's Monday. It's garbage day. So this is the inside of my trash can out front today. And in there, what do you see? You're like, oh, that's sushi. Good for you. Showing us a picture of your sushi. It's not about, well, let me explain why. Because that sushi was in my fridge. And I am not someone who normally adheres to like the proper rules when it comes to what you're supposed to eat and when you're going to eat it and stuff like that. Stuff could be long out of date. I do not care. I give it the smell test. If it passes the smell test, that's all I need. I'm all in. I'm disgusting. I will eat. I've pulled boxes of pizza out of the garbage before. I have at baseball games in my younger days. There's a story floating around how some people left. We were at spring training. And the people that were sitting next to us got up and left, and there was almost a full bag of peanuts they left behind. I reached down and started eating them. I don't think that's disgusting because, the peanuts are in the shell. They're all in a bag. Who really cares? So this morning I'm eyeballing this, and it would be very much in character for me, part of my personality. Because most people won't even eat sushi for breakfast, right? There's no way that sushi is going to be eaten for breakfast for most people. That's one. Number two, that sushi was at the bridal shower the day before, so sat out all day long. Then my wife brought it home, and I had some. Then it went in the fridge, and I pulled it back out this morning, and this is almost my breakfast. And the only thing that kept me, it failed the smell test? No, it smelled just fine. The only thing that kept me from eating this was pure knowledge just knowing that the reason that you're not supposed to, you got to be careful with raw fish like that, because whatever it is, the little parasites and little things that land on it, organisms, they'll grow pretty quickly. And so I just went, it's a day later. The it was sitting out on the counter all day yesterday, and it's just not a good idea. I don't care how it smells, throw it away. So I know it doesn't mean a lot in your world, but it means a lot in my world that I had the willpower to say no to possibly tainted fish. And I'm proud of myself. You don't have to be proud of me. You don't have to be. I have to be. I'm the one that has to live with me. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? All right, next up, what do you guys think about the International Space Station? Is that something that should be privatized? This is something that Trump was talking about last week or over the weekend. Could the International Space Station become a commercial venture run by private industry? From yahoo.com. That is, or is it Yahoo? That is the wish of the White House, which hopes to end funding for the costly program within a few years. The Washington Post reported on Sunday. The U.S. plan, the paper said, involves privatizing the ISS, a low-orbit space station piloted by the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, and developed jointly with its Russian counterpart. The station has allowed international crews, notably in collaboration with the Canadian, European, and Japanese space agencies, to pursue scientific research in the environment of low orbit. I don't think we need to fully... I mean, I get it. I guess in that old discussion between the... Joey, what do you think? Do you think we hey, Jojo, do you think we should privatize the ISS?
Dad, that's way above my pay grade.
Happy Monday. The decision to end direct federal support for the ISS in 2025 doesn't imply that the platform itself will be deorbited at that time. It is possible the industry could continue to operate certain elements or capabilities of the ISS as part of future commercial platform. I don't know. I don't like that we've defunded NASA the way that we've defunded NASA personally. I think it has benefited America greatly, going back to the moonshot and those discoveries and those constant, not just the discoveries, but the constant pushing, the constant challenging of our own capabilities just leads to greater and greater, things for us. And but I also understand when you're sitting there and you're an X's and O's kind of person, like it looks like the administration is now, comes down to bottom line. There's very staunch capitalists and go, this is not money that the government needs to be spending. Get it out of there. Is this a must? Nope. Is this a must? Nope. Is this a must? Nope. And get all that kind of stuff out of there. Personally, that's not the way I'd like to see NASA handled. But that's where we are right now. So Fish will get all angry then. Why don't you get all angry and start throwing shit like everybody else does? That's just where we are right now. The next person that gets in there will look at it differently, or might look at it differently, and start funding NASA again. Or maybe you turn everything over to the private sector, and we've reached a point now where, yes, government got it up and off the ground, and it's paid off, going back to JFK. But maybe now it's time for your Elon Musks of the world and those people. There's a lot of money floating around, and not every person with money is just an evil person that wants to try to get more money so they can become the God King that they know they are in their head. And let them have at it. You're Elon Musk, and then what's his face, the guy from Virgin, and all those. There's a bunch of them. You give them a chance, who knows what's going to happen? Am I trying to defend all? No, I just told you. I would love to see more money pumped into NASA. I'd like to see more put into science in general. And if that's not happening this administration, it's okay. It's not going to control anything as far as I'm concerned. It's not going to change anything in my life one way or another. All right. Let's see here. Up next. Let's see. The sex slave wins his suit. This is so weird. What is happening? All right, I don't know what's going on, but every time I turn to go to the story that I want, it's disappeared. And it's got to be me. It's got to be something that I've done. Am I accidentally clicking on shit that I shouldn't be clicking on? Oh, I wonder. That's probably what it was. I know what it was now. Sorry again for my ignorance. How you guys doing? Cut over to JoJo while I'm looking. A nice peaceful dog resting. What did I say when I talk about? Oh, the sex slave thing. Here we go. So, what I'm getting ready to show you is a murderer who is also a victim. That man right there. A convicted murderer has won more than $65,000 in damages after claiming an instructor at a notorious U.S. jail turned him into her sex slave. William Cordoba, 57, claimed that Sylvia Pulido started sexually abusing him after hiring him as a clerk in her office trailer at California's San Quentin prison. It's weird because this story's starting off like a porno plot, and this is usually a fantasy that's playing out. But this person did not enjoy it. He was a victim. He described, let's see, in his legal action, how Miss Pulido started flirting with him by saying, "Get closer, I don't bite." Cordoba said they first had sex in May of 2010 after she put her hand over his on his computer mouse and said, "Here, let me help you do it faster." Again, I'd like to go back to this seems more like the plot to a porno. 3 days later, Miss Pulido, a janitorial vocational instructor, a what? A janitorial vocational instructor. See, you know what? If she was somebody who had a higher position, higher power, he'd have been all about it. But you know, that low-level janitor stuff, he just couldn't have that. Changed the locks on her office so nobody could walk in on them during sex. Cordoba was forced to be her sex slave after she promised to help pay for a lawyer to work on his case, according to his legal claim. When he tried to back out of the abuse, Miss Pulido took revenge, accusing him of harassment, and he ended up spending 9 months in solitary confinement. Okay, all right, that's effed up. That's effed up. It seemed a little, you wondered if it was more like he was enjoying this, and then at some point, maybe he wanted to call it off, and then realize, hey, I could call this off and get $65,000 in the process. But she put him in the hole for 9 months. No, not that hole. The prison workers' attorney argued Cordoba was delusional. A jury, however, awarded Cordoba over $15,000 for harm and $50,000 in punitive damages following a 6-day trial. Quote, "All people have the right to be free from sexual abuse," said Cordoba's lawyer. That doesn't change because he's a murderer. It doesn't change because he's incarcerated. Cordoba is serving a life sentence for a second-degree murder and robbery in San Francisco in 1981. About that. All right, next up. The flu season worsens. Yeah, I hate bringing this stuff up because I feel like that I'm become part of the scaring everybody to death over everything. But it seems, the reports are saying that the flu season is getting worse. Some things that you need to know is that even if you've had it once or your kids had it once, it can come back. There's a couple of bad strains out there, I guess, this year. So and this is one thing that they're saying is, a family goes through this and like, all right, we made it through flu season, and then a few weeks later, a different strain ends up taking them out. So, and not only that, but the very disheartening story that I saw this morning is, well, you've seen a couple of these stories, and now there's a why behind it. And that is those who are not at risk, so-called healthy adults. If you're not, this usually affects children, babies, and the elderly and people with really weak immune systems. But you are seeing more and more 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds being affected and dying. So this is coming from USA Today. As far as flu season goes, experts are saying the levels of visits to hospitals and emergency rooms for this one are comparable to the 2009 swine flu. Oh, the swine flu. How I miss G. And now I know it's been 9 years since the swine flu. As such, reports of otherwise healthy or young people dying from the infection are flying around. Those stories have been shocking, especially because many of these people were outside the high-risk groups of flu-related death that include pregnant women, small children, and the elderly. So far in the 2017-2018 season, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has recorded 63 pediatric deaths. This compares to 110 deaths in 2016 and 17, 93 in 15-16, and 148 in 2014-15. The CDC does not know why, or does not know how many deaths are caused overall from the seasonal flu because, among other reasons, flu-related deaths happen a few weeks after someone is infected and are often caused by a secondary illness or pre-existing condition. And then it goes into some of those things that can, come out of it. Pneumonia, heart attack can come out of it, sepsis, and so on. But yeah, still a very bad flu season. Still thinking about you guys and hoping you and your families make it through. All right. This next story. I'm sorry for smirking when I go to see this How to Spot a Gay. It's just because it's absurd. It's hilarious. Okay, no, it's not hilarious because I know that could be very sensitive for some of you because this kind of thing is the kind of thing that leads to, well, horrible violence and so on. But this is coming out of Malaysia. Malaysian newspaper publishes How to Spot a Gay checklist. So this isn't even some like out there, whatever group, blah, blah, blah. This is a Malaysian newspaper. Sinar Harian says LGBT people are identifiable by beards. What? Beards? Branded clothes and going to the gym. Okay, the last one's true. The last two are true. Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being stereotypical, for being, a jerk. A leading Malaysian newspaper has published a list of pointers for identifying potential gay and lesbian people, drawing anger from activists who said lives were being put at risk. The article in Sinar Harian featured bullet points of supposedly distinctive qualities that revealed LGBT people. They started that gay men were easy to identify because of their love of beards, going to the gym, not for exercise, but to check out other men, and branded clothing. Their eyes light up when they see handsome men, the article says. I'm sorry again for laughing. It's so absurd that's hilarious to me, but I do realize since this is happening in real life somewhere and it does put people's lives in danger that I shouldn't be laughing so much, so I will try to back off of that just a little bit. The standout attributes for lesbians were that they tend to hug each other, hold hands, and belittle men. I don't know about that. Homosexuality is illegal in Malaysia and punishable under a colonial-era sodomy law that carries a 20-year prison sentence. And that's where I guess my laughing stops. Because this is real life and it's happening in modern day. It's not even like you were reading of a different time. And it is so absurd that it makes me laugh. But I can't look. That's because of my perspective. And if I were living in Malaysia and involved in any way in this community, then, it would not be funny at all. But to know that we're in 2018 and you still have this dumb, ignorant shit around the world. Campaigners have called for a softening of rhetoric in Malaysian media after a series of recent deaths of men and women suspected of being gay or transgender. An 18-year-old student was beaten and burned to death last year by classmates who said he was a pondom, a colloquial term for a gay man. 27-year-old transgender woman Samira Krishnan was attacked with a knife and shot 3 times in a target attack in her florist shop a few months later. So an activist and one of Malaysia's biggest social media stars lashed out, saying it could take away lives, quotes, and this is in response to that newspaper publishing their story. Quote, "There's much more important issues in this country which needs to be addressed. If you really wanted to educate society, then explain to them the traits of a pedophile, a molester, a murderer, a kidnapper, people who actually endanger the lives of others. How the hell does a gay person endanger your life?" Genius. Great way to put it. If you really want to have effect on the world, why are you putting out these traits? So someone all of a sudden walks with a bounce in their step, is wearing branded clothes. You feel good when you open up the next day and find out that person got the shit kicked out of them. And then another group of people grabbed that person and tied him to a vehicle and dragged him. And then the next group of people grabbed that person and threw him and burned them to death. If you want to start putting out possible traits, the suggestion is, why don't you educate society then and explain to them the traits of a pedophile, a molester, a murderer, a kidnapper, people who actually endanger the lives of others. How the hell does a gay person endanger your life? A gay person doesn't endanger anybody's life. It endangers some people's understanding of themselves, is all. Kamar's outspoken YouTube video has been viewed tens of thousands of times on social media in less than 24 hours. He particularly mocked the idea that facial hair was the sole domain of gay men. "I know a lot of priests. I know a lot of ustads," which is Islamic scholars, I guess. "I know a lot of really, really religious people who love keeping beards. Are you trying to say they are gay?" That's how stupid this is. Again, that's how stupid it is, and that's why I'm laughing. But I'm only laughing because I'm halfway around the world and I'm not affected by this. Next up, tipping for takeout. We're going to get to this story because, again, all right, tipping for takeout. I don't know if you guys saw this coming out of Palm Beach Gardens or not. But the headline just infuriates you. Outback server given no tip on church's $735 order. And then what's even worse about this is that then this woman is fired because she complained about it. When I think Outback should have used this, should have stood by their employee. This is a shame. This is an opportunity for you as a corporate. Sorry, something got stuck in my lips there. As a corporation, here was an opportunity for you to stick up for one of your employees after she got effed. But you don't give a shit, do you? Why? Why would you? You're making tens of millions of dollars a year, hitting bonus after bonus after bonus. Why do you give a shit about somebody who is giving somebody else their takeout order? $735 worth of food this person put together and got $0. Complained about it, and then instead of defending her, you fire her. It's bullshit. So, a Palm Beach County restaurant employee was fired after she took her anger over not being tipped on a large takeout order to social media. Christ Fellowship Church, also in Palm Beach Gardens, placed the $735 order to be picked up at a nearby Outback Steakhouse. A volunteer went to pick it up. The server was there to help out. I brought it out, put it in the car, received the payment. There was no gratuity whatsoever. Next stop for Yoder was their social media platform. I got upset. I posted a photo on Facebook about the church not leaving a gratuity tip. One of Yoder's friends saw her post, called the church to complain, and was told the volunteer sent to pick up the food didn't know to leave a tip. Okay, it's not about the volunteer. It's not about the volunteer. It is about the church. And they should have been on top of it. Plain and simple. As soon as you put in an order like that, $735 effing dollars, you got to make sure that kind of stuff is handled. That's ridiculous. Coming in to eat out or eat or take out, you should automatically be wanting to tip 15%, said Yoder. From there, you either go up or down based on the service. Trying to make it right, someone from the church called Outback the next day, but when Tamerlan showed up to work, she was terminated. As it turns out, the restaurant has a strict policy of forbidding workers from posting about customers on social media. I feel we should be allowed to say something, especially to big parties that don't leave anything that pay the exact amount, said Yoder. I still feel the same way, and I'd probably still do it the same way today. I wouldn't change anything. All right, so this is coming down to what then? This is about a company wanting to control their own image. Okay, very understandable. Very understandable. It happens in every industry, at every turn. Okay, you want to be able to control your brand and your messaging. I still don't like zero tolerance policies for stuff like this. All right, we have a policy. You don't lash out against customers on social media. If there is an issue, bring it to us so we can handle it. I understand. And I also think this was probably an opportunity for them to bring in their employee and go, we understand why you were so upset. We agree with you 100%, but come to us first. Allow us to take care of the situation. All right? Now, if she did that and then Outback doesn't do anything, well, then I say no holds barred. You go after both of them, F them both. But according to the church, it was a misunderstanding. So if you just gone to the manager, said, hey, could you make a phone call for me? And the manager made that phone call, then the manager comes back and says, you know what, they're apologizing. They're sending somebody down and they'll be tipping you here shortly. So what was it? What I say it was a $735 bill. So let's say it's not 10% or 20%, just a 10%. All right. Well, that's $70 just like that. $73.50. Boom. For that person who is making $2 an hour. That's huge. So I do understand why Outback doesn't want why any company doesn't want their employees going after customers and clients. Come to us first so we can handle it first, because even though they didn't give you the 15% or 10% that you deserve. By the way, what do you think that number should be? Because she throws in there 15% on a takeout order. No. So if somebody's getting 20% for tending to my needs for an hour and a half, somebody who's just walking food out, well, I'm sorry, you're right, it's more than just walking. It's not just walking out food. You're also preparing it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes a lot of times. Well, sometimes but I hear, though, that it's not even that prep work actually gets done back in the kitchen by somebody completely, by the cooks. They'll, bag it the way it's supposed to be. But anyway, so what do you tip normally on a takeout order? Is it for some people it's just $2? You throw down $2, whether it's a $10 order or a $100 order, you're getting $2 for it. I think that I'm not usually ordering $100 worth of a takeout, so that's not really a thing. If I'm ordering anything, it's $20, $30, $40. So yeah, $2, 10%. Well, we'll see. If I'm feeling kind of frisky, somewhere up around 5%. But that is ridiculous, and it's a shame. I wish that Outback would have taken this opportunity to make it a teaching opportunity for not only their employee, a learning moment, but also for the church and others who put in those kinds of orders. And but instead, they just go fire and whatever. All right, that is all the stuff that I had highlighted today. I've got a couple more things that we'll hit before we get out of here. But all right, this is kind of cool, even though it just highlights for some of us how old we're getting. Wild winds disrupted the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics on Sunday as a 17-year-old American snowboarder made history by becoming the first Games gold medalist born this millennium. Red Gerard was born June 29th, 2000. He celebrated a storming win in slope style, which also made him the second youngest individual winner in Games history. I'm super psyched, he said, adding, I can't believe it. I'm shaking right now. Maybe from the cold or the excitement, I don't know, but I'm ecstatic. I can't believe it. Slopestyle is one of the events that did not fall victim to the high winds on Sunday when the snow showpiece men's downhill skiing was aborted until Thursday following a pre-dawn meeting of ski chiefs. Anyway, so the reason that I brought this up, because, there's a lot of little stories that come out of the Olympics and a lot of little puppies too. Hi, Joseph. How you doing, buddy? How's everything in the couch? Life good? Here you go. How you doing, Bubba? How you doing, buddy? So it's 2018, which means those who were born 2000 turn 18. Those who are born, who are millennial or true millennials, not millennials in the sense of whatever, but were born in this new millennia. This new millennium, they turn 18. The kids that are born in 2000 are old enough to go to war, old enough to go die for sacrifice for their country. Those born in 2000, so the next year, 2001, because we'll start talking about this some more too, because of those who were born post 9/11, 2001. Those kids will be turning 18 starting next year. They're already old enough to drive. Holding down jobs, middle management elsewhere, and soon will be ready to go off to war. And you've got this one here, 17 years old, becoming the first ever millennial to win a gold medal in the Olympics, or, this millennia anyway. All right, so we talked about the flu there. You guys want to... I know this is what everybody's talking about, especially in the political side of things. So, on Friday, it's Monday. I don't feel like going down this path. Do I have to? Do we have to? But then I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I don't. That I am doing exactly what this woman is hoping won't be done, and that is going, I can't read any, I don't want to, emotionally I can't take it today, so I'm going to ignore it. And that is concerning this Rob Porter guy who worked at the White House, and he had two ex-wives come out talking about the history of abuse they suffered under him, allegedly. And then I guess a former ex-girlfriend of his after that then came forward to corroborate even more, not corroborate their stories, but I guess to add even more from her perspective. And so it looks like this guy is, got some issues with domestic abuse, right? I know that's putting it mildly. But then you had the president defending him in a way of like, listen, he seems like a really good guy, and you've got General Kelly. Seems like you got a great guy here. He's a hard worker, really smart. This and this. I don't buy any of this. Which I understand. We got to be careful ruining people over allegations. Even once a second allegation comes out and a third allegation comes out, it is only fair to let these investigations and these allegations play out a little bit. So I understand all that. But I do. So let's just turn. I guess we're going down this path. So let's just to go this. So this is one of the ex-wives, right? Jenny Willoughby. And it's titled. So she is a former school teacher whose passion is the resiliency of human spirit. She writes, President Trump will not diminish my truth. On Friday, a friend and I watched as the President of the United States sat in an Oval Office and praised the work of my ex-husband, Rob Porter, and wished him future success. I can't say I was surprised. But when Donald Trump repeated twice that Rob declared his innocence, I was floored. What was his intent in emphasizing that point? My friend turned to me and said, the President of the United States just called you a liar. Yes, and so he did. On Saturday morning, following the overnight resignation of another White House staffer, after his ex-wife came forward with her story of abuse, the president tweeted, people's lives are being shattered and destroyed by mere allegation. Some are true, some are false. Some are old, some are new. There's no recovery for someone falsely accused. Life and career are gone. Is there no such thing any longer as due process? I would like to point out some hypocrisy just real quickly with that one. You know, and it's not me. Somebody else pulled a tweet from the same guy, Donald Trump, back in, I think it was 2012, and where they put a tweet of him going after, what? That can't be right. Where he was going after Chris Brown, back when Chris Brown was in the news for beating the shit out of Rihanna. I don't know, whatever the legalese is for that. And he tweeted out, Chris Brown, once a beater, always a beater. And he had no evidence whatsoever, just news reports. And he tweeted that. So people's lives, is there no such thing as due process? Well, Mr. Trump, you didn't need due process to go after Chris Brown publicly on your Twitter account. And you didn't need due process. You didn't need due process when you declared that Rob declared his innocence twice. So you just believe him at face value that he did nothing wrong. Why? Here's the big difference. Because if you're invaluable to an organization, an institution, or a person like Donald Trump, and what I mean by that are those people who are in that world of loyalty, you know, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, and we'll take care of each other no matter what, you know, that kind of stuff. So as long as you benefit, you are doing something for somebody else and you're valuable to them, then they believe you because they want you to stick around. If you're not, well, then you'll get hung out to dry. I think that's how that works anyway. On Saturday morning following the overnight resignation, the president tweeted then that, and then there it is again. The words mere allegation and falsely accused meant to imply that I'm a liar, that Colby Holderness is a liar, that the work Rob was doing in the White House was of higher value than our mental, emotional, or physical well-being. That his professional contributions are worth more than the truth. That abuse is something to be questioned and doubted. Everyone wants to talk about how the White House and former colleagues defended Rob. Of course they did. They valued and respected him. The truth would be dissonant to everything they believed to be true about the man they knew. The truth would be devastating, and denial is easier than devastation. Everyone wants to talk about how Trump implied I am not to be believed, as if Trump is the model of kindness and forgiveness, as if he readily acknowledges his own shortcomings and shows empathy and concern for others. I forgive him. Thankfully, my strength and worth are not dependent on outside belief. The truth exists whether the president accepts it or not. I think the issue here is deeper than whether Trump or General John Kelly or Sarah Huckabee Sanders or Senator Orrin Hatch or Hope Hicks or whether anyone else believes me or defends Rob. Society as a whole has a fear of addressing our worst secrets. Just ask any African-American citizen. It's as if we have a societal blind spot that creates an obstacle to understanding. Society as a whole doesn't acknowledge the reality of abuse. The tendency to avoid, deny, or cover up abuse is never really about power or money or an old boys club. It's deeper than that. Rather than embarrass an abuser, society is subconsciously trained to question a victim of abuse. I would call it an ignorant denial based on the residual, Puritan, collective agreement that abuse is uncomfortable to talk about. Amidst the recent rash of sexual assault revelations born to the Me Too movement, even I found myself questioning the accuser. I almost allowed my societal conditioning to override what my heart knows to be true. Abuse is scary and demoralizing and degrading. It chisels away at our self-esteem and self-worth until you are unsure whether your vision of reality is valid or not. If someone finds the strength and courage to come forward, he or she is to be believed, because that declaration only came up after an uphill battle towards rebirth. Ultimately, this is not a political issue. This is a societal issue, and the tone has just been reset by the White House. If the most powerful people in the nation do not believe my story of abuse in the face of overwhelming evidence, then what hope do others have of being heard? What are at a critical moment in history there are three things I know to be true. Where the anger is, there's an underlying pain. Where there is denial, there's an underlying fear. Where there's abuse, there is a cover-up. While I may have compassion for my ex-husband and recognize his needs for help, I do not tolerate abuse. While I may understand President Trump and General Kelly's incredulity, damn it, that's what I get for dropping out of college. I can't even say incredulity. At such a counter image of their golden boy, I do not condone their choice to support him. In light of the president's and the White House's continued dismissal of me and Colby, I want to assure you my truth has not been diminished. I own my story, and now that I've been compelled to share it, I'm not willing to cover it up for anyone. And for any men, women, or children currently in situations of abuse, please know it is real. You are not crazy. You are not alone. And I believe you. So that is, obviously very powerful. And she's right. It is societal. It's cultural. It's not just about the White House. Every time we go down this path, I bring up the same examples. Penn State, the Catholic Church, and the institution and the ideals behind the institution become more important and bigger than the people that they're supposed to help and serve. And for whatever reason, I don't know why it is that we get like this. I don't understand why in these moments, as soon as something like this, an atrocity like this is, you're faced with it, that you don't grab it by its throat, put it up against the wall, shine a light on it, and go, hey, everybody, I found this in our midst. We will not have this be a part of our college, be a part of our political party, be a part of our institution, in any way. But instead, it's like it's almost more natural to weigh out the cost-benefit analysis on how it benefits us personally in that moment. And to confront somebody in that moment, to confront something like that in that moment is not easy. Because it's not, I go, why don't you just grab that person by the throat, put them up against the wall, shine a light on them, go, hey, everybody, look over here. Well, it seems all well and good, easy enough, right? Why? Because as soon as you do, someone else is going to yell at you, turn off that light. Turn off that light right now. Let him go. You go, whoa, wait, I just caught this person doing this. This is not, whoa, hold on. You've just made an accusation that could cost the company, blah, blah, blah. That could cost the firm, blah, blah, blah. The political party, the movement, whatever it is that the ideals that are bigger than the person themselves, whatever they are. But, maybe that's all changing. We want transparency. We want, more of this stuff out in the open, and maybe that's exactly what's happening. Maybe that's the era we live in, and more of this kind of stuff will be coming out, and we'll see change. We'll see. Battlefield acupuncture, I just thought was kind of a cool story. The U.S. military has added the ancient holistic therapy of acupuncture to its arsenal for fighting opioid abuse in the ranks. The practice, which first originated in China about 8,000 years ago. That is incredible. Provided immediate relief for acute and chronic. Well, I guess it's not that incredible. I'm sitting there watching something over the weekend too, because luckily my wife had, well, not lucky, but my wife had a lot of things to do. And so I had the opportunity to just sit on the couch. And that's what I did. And I was watching a documentary on, I don't know, whatever it was. And they were sitting there highlighting weapons that are 50,000 years old and tools that are 50,000 years old. And so I guess it shouldn't surprise me that 8,000 years ago, they had figured out how acupuncture helps with pain. The practice, one of the most popular forms used in the military has been dubbed battlefield acupuncture, or BFA, because it's simple to administer and easily transportable. I just brought this up because I was curious on what you guys thought. I haven't never done this. I've heard a lot about it. Acupuncture, and I don't know if it's one of those whack job things or not, if there's actually something to it. And I was just curious on that. And then you see the last thing that I pulled up. Just some happenings here in the Bay Area, thanks to TampaBay.com. We'll run through those real quickly. John Stamos is performing in Clearwater with the Beach Boys. That is Tuesday night. And they were in Orlando on Saturday to perform at Universal's Mardi Gras. So it's good to bet the Full House hunk is somewhere around these parts already. Have mercy. Sorry for reading this stuff verbatim. Let's see. Dancing with the Stars rolls into town on Wednesday with Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle and the season winner Jordan Fisher, among others. There's some more. Colin Quinn, actor-comedian Colin Quinn, will be in town. Clearwater on Saturday at Capitol Theater. Love him. And I love Eliza Schlesinger, too. Last Comic Standing winner. I did not see that season, but she's awesome. She's hilarious. And she will be in Tampa on Saturday as well. Tampa Theater, then goes off to Orlando. And there you go. That's that. Oh, and Finesse Mitchell, former SNL alum, or SNL alum, would not be former SNL alum, will be at the Improv this weekend as well. So there you go. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Wake.Show today. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Have a great day.